How are you, my little thing? You gorgeous little thing. Yes, yes, yes. So pretty, so pretty. Such lovely, long, gracious leaves, so slippery to the touch. Very pretty, very healthy, happy little plant. So green. I have to dust you more, so you can have such shiny green leaves. Shiny, shiny green leaves. Very important. You're my closest confidant, you know. Of course, of course, of course. Well, no. No, I would never. I would never, my darling thing. You know I love you dearly. You know you are my closest confidant. You know I tell you all of my woes and secrets and hopes and dreams, just as one should tell their plants. Yes, of course. And of course, you know, I keep your secrets. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I'm very, very happy to have you, you beautiful creature. Lovely little green plant. Hello, 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 hello. You're right on time. You're right on time. You're right on time. That's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. How is your journey? How was your journey? Yes, yes, yes. Could you find my tree easily? Perfect, 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 perfect. Perfect. Yes, yes. I'm so excited for you. You're ready to find your spirit guide, your companion, to guide you through life and navigate the spirit realm. This is very exciting. Do you know what kind of direction you want to go in yet? Or is it all still open? Yes, perfect, perfect. That's very exciting. Then, let's go through some options. Yes, 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 yes. What? Perhaps these. You see, I use cards to choose a spiritual companion for you. And then I'll send them to you. I'll send them your way. And for each card, there's a question. Different opposing features. They might not be exact opposites, you see. But, you know, the kind of. They're not exactly the opposite, but they're similar. They're related somehow. But it matters. You see? It's fine. It's fine. The point is not to think about it too much, you see? So if I say green or blue, you should just say the first thing that comes to mind. There are many options depending on the deck, you see. So first I'll try this deck. So hold on. I don't know about this deck. Let's try again. I don't know if it feels right, you see. The deck has to feel right. There are many different decks. Yes, 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 yes. No. Not this deck, not this deck, not this deck, not this deck. Perhaps this deck. Perhaps this deck. Perhaps this one. Yes, perhaps this deck. Ooh, it's a spicy deck. It's a spicy deck. Ooh, you see. It pops like this. You see. I don't know. Oh, they're smooth. That's a good sign. When they feel smooth to the touch. When they're smooth and they feel silky and they glide together nicely. Yes. That's not just good cards. These are the cards that we're looking for you. These are the right cards. So let's try again. They don't mix quite right. They could. Yes, they could. Let's try one more. Here. Hold on, let me try once more. They're good cards, but they're not your cards. No, they're not your cards. No. Here. Hold on. What are these cards? Ooh, they feel good. They feel good about you, you see, and that's the part that matters. All of the cards are good. They're all good cards, and they're all good decks. But they need to feel right for you because they're all different. My deck is not the same as your deck. No. Of course not. Ah, these feel good. You see, they're flexible. Oh, what a pretty sound. What a pretty sound they make and how they glide together. Oh, they feel very good. They feel very, very good indeed. They feel very good. Yes. Oh, they're so smooth and silky. Silky and smooth. They're good cards. They smell right. Here. Smell. Yes. You smell? It smells right. It's supposed to be like this. Yes. Okay. One more. Once more. They're smooth. They're nice and smooth. And they sound right. Here. Listen. Perfect, right? Perfect cards. Yes, they are. Yes. So, these cards, as I've said, each one has two features to them, right? Yes, of course, there are reasons why each card has their own features. I don't just make them up. That would be very silly indeed. Then why would I go about having different cards at all? That's very silly. No. So, first, drum roll, please. First, we have the Fool. And the Fool is on this beautiful little yellow background. Oh, it's so shiny, this card. So shiny, it's so hard to see. There we are. There's our Fool. The Fool wanders blindly, you see. So, for the Fool, our questions are clever or ignorant. No, of course not. They aren't exact opposites. I've said. But clever or ignorant. Yes, of course. You see, the Fool could be clever. He could be aware of where it is that he's going, or he could be completely ignorant that he's about to walk off of a cliff. Very, very silly, the Fool. That's why he's called the Fool. Yes. Perfect. Thank you. Then this card is done. Next card. The Magician. The Magician, you see. The Magician here is also on a beautiful yellow background. And the Magician can do anything. The Magician can turn water into wine. Ooh, that's a spicy take. The Magician can make bread out of wine. Perhaps that's better. And you see, there's also this eternal symbol over the Magician. Eternal symbol. Because the Magician is always trying out new things. So the question for the Magician is experimental or reliable? Experimental or reliable? Well, again, they're not exact opposites. No, of course not. Experimental or reliable? Yes, perfect. That's done. Now, the next card. The next card is a very important card. The next card is a very important card. It gives a lot of insight into what your spirit guide will be like. So we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess. Our High Priestess sits in beautiful blue gown before beautiful sunflowers behind her. And she judges between B and J. I do not know what they mean. No, why would I know what they mean? That's completely irrelevant what they are. It doesn't matter. It's not like the sunflowers that are significant. This is, ignore that part. But the High Priestess, here is the important part about the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a very practical woman, you see. She must retain her role. She is very practical indeed, but she also must be esoteric. So she must be in touch with the religion, whatever it is. Who even knows? But these are your questions. Pragmatic or esoteric? Pragmatic or esoteric? Yes, very good, very good, very good, very good, very good, perfect. Next card, next card, next card, next card. The Empress. The Empress retains control over her domain. Ooh, this is much smarter if I come. Perhaps it is not smarter. The Empress retains command over her entire domain. It belongs to her. She is the Empress. She is in charge. Of course. Of an empire. That's why it's Empress and not Queen. Empire. It's more than... it's more than a queendom, I guess. Maybe it's many queendoms. Doesn't matter. I hope not. Perfect, perfect. So the Empress. The Empress, however, a big responsibility in unfortunate dark times before we had equality of the sexes, was simply to produce heirs. And so your question for the priestess is fertile or barren? Fertile or barren? Fertile or barren? Well, it could be anything. It's a spirit guide, so they don't really like have baby spirit guides. It's more like fertile creativity or a fertile land for you to grow on, or barren isn't necessarily bad either. Barren might just be that you take the lead. Yes, they're very different. They're very different. They're very different things. And context is everything. Context matters. Yes, of course. So, fertile or barren? Yes, perfect. Then the next card. Perfect. Since we had the Empress, of course, now we must have the Emperor. The Emperor sits on an iron throne. It looks incredibly uncomfortable, if I'm honest. Look, it's so square. So square. And he's wearing armor under more clothes. I know. I mean, it doesn't look like he's in snow. This seems very impractical, if I'm honest. The Empress had a much better system. She was lounging in the sunshine. I am Empress, Team Empress, all the way. Yes, Team Empress, absolutely. Why would I sit uncomfortably in this terrible chair? Yes, Team Empress. So, but doesn't matter. This is about the Emperor card. So, the Emperor, stable. He's very stable. He seems unmovable, like a chunk of rock. Probably because he's so uncomfortable and all of his joints have gone stiff. Or fluid. Because sometimes the Emperor has to make really big decisions and change things drastically. So, stable or fluid, stable or fluid, stable or fluid, stable or fluid, stable or fluid. Yes, perfect. Then, next. The Hierophant. What is a Hierophant? They're Hieronymus. like the painter. Hierarchical. Heir apparent. Yes, well, it's one of those. It's one of those. It's one of those, and that's all that matters. That's all you need to know. Really, it's very simple. It's very simple. Very simple. Very simple. So the hierophant. The hierophant is involved in a lot of things, a lot of fingers and a lot of pies. You know, like they're very close with the rulers. They're very close with the emperor and the empress, but they're also very close with like the high priestess and other religious people. I guess they're like a pope. I guess. I don't know what a pope is. Like, it just seems like it should be a thing. Anyway, but regardless. So, a lot of fingers and a lot of pies. So, the question that the hierophant asks is allied or solitary? Allied or solitary? Allied or solitary? Perfect. Then next. Aww, very sweet. It's a lovely card. It's, in fact, the most lovely of cards because it's the lovers. Yes. Well, there's many kinds of love. They don't have to just like. So this is the point of the lovers, right? You have two people from heteronormative times, and you have a woman and a man and some sort of angel thing. Let's call it Cupid. Let's call it Cupid. I think that's fine. And for some reason there's a mountain. Do people fall in love on mountains? I suppose. Anyway. So the lovers. The thing is, there's more than one kind of love, you see. And so what this really depicts is very romantic love, with Cupid and, again, heteronormative love, etc. But the question to you is romantic or platonic? No. Both of them are valid. Both of them are valid for your spirit guide. Well, you will love each other, certainly. You'll have an even deeper bond than normal love, but it's a question of what kind of person that is. A romantic person isn't necessarily in romantic love with everyone, are they now? Lord Percy Byron, was he in love with everybody? Bad example. Wait. Well, my point stands. My question stands. Is a romantic person always in love with everyone? No. So, romantic or platonic? Romantic or platonic? Romantic or platonic? Perfect. Next. We have the chariots. The chariot. Here we see somebody very important in a chariot drawn by sphinxes, like yin-yang sphinxes. That's not even a normal chariot, which itself is pretty cool. I mean, a chariot, have you ridden a chariot? Okay, so after this, I tell you, we will go and take out my chariot for a spin. I will, yeah, of course. I've got the little, like, yeah, I mean, I have dragonflies. I have dragonflies for this. I'll hitch up the dragonflies. We'll take the chariot out for a spin. It is really fun. So, 1, chariots. Very cool, very fun, good time. But this is a chariot drawn by sphinxes, which aren't real animals. No, not even in the fairy world. They're not real. It doesn't make any sense. Like, it's just a weird concept. No, of course. So anyway, it doesn't matter. But the point is, they're drawn by these ridiculous imaginary animals, not like the Morgulaf, of course. Like, that's a real animal. But also, look, they're opposites. Opposite. Right? So, what is very fun to do in a chariot is to drive very, very, very fast. Because if you drive too slow, you will fall down. But that is the question that the chariot asks us. Is fast or slow? Fast or slow? Fast or slow. Perfect. So next. Strength. Strength is apparently an eternal young woman feeding a lion. Something. No. Here, I can't tell what it you can't see it. It's hard to say exactly what it is. Like, what is, maybe this way? No. Okay, all right. So, no, she's scratching. She's rubbing its throat, like I have to when I have to give the Morgalaf is medication. Yes. It's you put the medication at the back of the tongue, and then you close the nose, and then you rub the throat, and you hope that it swallows it. And Morgalafs never swallow it. It doesn't matter what you do. It's not eating this thing. So, you do all kinds of ridiculous things like this woman is doing. So obviously, this is a sick lion. This is a poor lion that is ill. Yes. So this is about strength, right? So strong or weak is the question that's being asked. It's quite obvious, right? Because a lion is a very, very strong animal. Rawr! That's a lion. That's the sound a lion makes. But this is a weak lion because he's sick. He needs medicine. So strong or weak? I suppose. Are you sure? All right. Next. This is a very sad card. For some people. Not for everyone. Some of us quite like it. The Hermit. Look at this hermit. He's wearing very comfortable clothes. That's something I enjoy, certainly. You can tell. Look how comfortable I am. You have no idea. It's incredible. Look, it's flowy. The only downside is it gets caught on the plants all the time, but this is the cost of fashion. So, he's wearing very comfortable clothes. He's got a little lantern there. Little lantern. Yes. He's being very, very careful as he goes through the world, making sure he doesn't trip on anything. He's got a stick. He's very sensible. Very sensible, the hermit. Very sensible, the hermit. So, that's the question we're asking. Cautious. He's very cautious. Would you prefer cautious or reckless? Reckless. Cautious or reckless? Comfortable clothes. Stick. Light. Very cautious. Or the opposite. Imagine wearing uncomfortable clothes, having no stick, and being in the dark. Reckless. Yes, of course. Yes, let's continue. This is our next one. This is the Wheel of Fortune. No, not some silly, fantastical game show, but the Wheel of Fortune is a... Well, fortune isn't necessarily good, like fortune is 50-50. Fortune could be good, it could be bad. And then there's like levels of good, right? So like if my tree were to die, which of course it can't, my tree can't die, it's not possible, that would be very bad fortune. But if my tree started spontaneously growing blackberries, which I need to make a note, I need to make a do, because I love blackberries. Do you like blackberries? I like blackberries very much. And I want more blackberries in my life, but they're so annoying to pick. Anyway. If my tree started growing blackberries, that would be good fortune. You see? Yes, of course. But the point of the Wheel of Fortune is it relies on fate. It's a question of fate, not of good or bad. Yes, of course. Is there a fate, or is it random? These are your options to choose from. Fated or random. Fated or random. Fated or random. Of course. Yes. Of course. Perfect. Excellent choice. We'll continue. We still have several to go. Yes. Justice. They really like this, like orangey robes. I wonder if they're all from the same place, you know? Like this Hierophant and the Emperor and everything. If they're male, they have orangey red robes. Why is that? Do men like orangey red? Oh, anyway. Doesn't matter. The point is, Justice has a sword because apparently Justice can be very mean. But Justice also has these pair of weights, right? Because that's how you judge whether something is fair or not. I think this is a very violent form of justice, but it's purely symbolic. There's no violence happening here. Nothing. The worst that would happen is that he would have to chop an extra large root in half, like a sweet potato. Yes, if there was a dispute over who owned the largest sweet potato out in Huckleberry Fields, if it was Mr. Dimbleby or the Marsh Witch. If it was Mr. Dimbleby or the Marsh Witch who owns this sweet potato, then Justice might decide to just chop it in half and say everyone gets part. And that's why Justice has the sword. Exactly. These things come up. Sweet potato related disputes come up far more often than you would imagine. They are very delicious. Yes. So justice. Yes, so fair or selfish. Also not entirely oppositional, but again, they aren't entirely oppositional, and that's the point. So fair or selfish. A selfish, snellfish. Wise words from the poet laureate, of course. Yes, wonderful. Then, next. Yes, this card is very confusing because when it's upside down, it looks like it's right side up, and it is in fact the Hanged Man. Yes, he's hanging. He's hanging by one leg. It's good for the spine, actually, like to just sort of hang sometimes. It can be very nice. Yes, it can feel good. Yes. But anyway, I mean, he seems mildly upset, but only mildly upset. Of course, if I were hanging upside down and I weren't doing it for my spine, I would be probably more than mildly upset. You know, I would be much more concerned. He seems mildly upset, and he's got this glowing golden head anyway. So I think he's fine. So the Hanged Man is similar to the Fool. So the question here is wise or silly. Wise or silly. Perfect. Next. This is one of my favorite cards. It's very interesting. Look, it's Death. It's a skeleton riding a horse. Skeletons don't usually ride horses. Of course it's interesting. Come on, all of these other ones, they're people doing things, or like Wheel of Fortune. What is that even? It's like a circle thing. But this is a skeleton riding a horse. That is very cool. That's very cool. You have to admit that's cool. Skeleton horse. Skeleton. And he's got this nice little like flag with a flower on it. I mean I've met Death. Like he's there. I'm sorry. Be better, fairy. They're really nice. They're really nice, and they love flowers. They love this depiction of themselves. Usually they're shown looking all kind of gruesome and creepy and everything, but they're so sweet, and they have the best tea selection. We should go visit Death after. I tell you what, we'll hitch up the dragonflies and we'll take the chariot over to visit Death, and we'll have some tea. Isn't that a great? I love it. It's a great idea. I love it when you visit. I love it. So. Death. Young or old? Well, of course, there are advantages to both. Like if they're young, then they might be incredibly energetic, incredibly like excited about every little thing because it's all new to them. New. But if they're older, then they might be more familiar with things and able to find their way better. They might be better navigators, for example, if they're older. Yes, of course. You cannot make a mistake here. There's no mistake making. No, absolutely not. There's no wrong answer or right answer. No, these are preferences. Yes, of course. They're just high level. You don't need to overthink it. Everything is fine. We'll find you the right spirit guide, no matter what you say. Perfect. So, young or old? Excellent. So, there we are. Next, we have temperance. Temperance is not my favorite card. I don't like temperance. I mean, it's fine. It's smart and responsible. But, I mean, between you and me, I really like fairy dust. Like, I do. It's delicious. It's sweet. It's fun. It's fun, fairy dust. And well, as long as I never take too much. Yeah, okay, fine. That's temperance. Yeah, that's what temperance is in a nutshell. I know. Fine, you're right. Temperance is not the enemy of fun. Important. Yes. And that is the question. Moderate, so temperate, or hedonistic. Again, not exact opposites. Like they're kind of sort of a bit in the direction of oppositional, but not exact opposites. But yes. No, temperance is pouring water between cups. I think they just have the two cups. And I think they're just sort of doing like a meditation activity. If you had two cups, you're just gonna pour from one to the other and then back again. No, you don't think so? Okay, well, maybe not. Maybe they're just splitting. So the same water into cups. I mean, water is not usually a thing that we need to be temperate about, but okay. Moderate or hedonistic? Yes, okay. And then next we have the devil. Yes, the devil. I know, always so silly with those horns. He looks so angry and mean. He's not. He's a sweet teddy bear. He's a sweet teddy bear, of course. No. I mean, sure, the devil has eaten a few souls. Yes, this is a long time ago. He's done the work. He did the time. He did the work. He's a youth counselor now. That's right. Wants everyone to be better. Doing very important work in the community. Yeah. This is the old devil, like. Nah. Now he wears hoodies. He likes hoodies. They're nice for the horns, I'm really envious. I thought about growing horns because they could hold like the hood of the hoodie up well, so you could like be sheltered from the rain, but also be able to see really well, and you could have like a little pocket to put your little chinchilla friend in there or something. Of course he has a chinchilla. Don't you have a chinchilla? But they're so soft. Yeah, okay, that's fair. But anyway. So the devil. The devil is or was all about temptation. So tempted, or steadfast. Tempted or steadfast. Great. Next. The Tower. No one likes this card. They always say, "Oh no, look, it looks so terrible. Oh my god." But yeah, you know, like it is also a very bad card. Like, you don't want it drawn when you're doing a reading and it's like, this is your future. That's not great. That's not great. But that's not what's happening here. So that's totally fine. Everything's all right. Yeah, exactly. So the Tower is, it's a bummer. I'll be honest. It's a bummer. It's, you know, the downfall of empires kind of thing. But the question the Tower asks us is dependent or independent? Dependent, 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 dependent or independent? Dependent or independent? Dependent or independent? Are you sure? All right. Oh, we're so close. We're so close. We're so close. Okay, the star. Look how pretty this naked woman is, for some reason representing the star. I guess she's the star of the landscape. Completely ignoring the star above her head. Like, She seems to be pouring water on the ground. I'm not sure why she'd do that. I mean, it's not like watering the... I mean, it's right next to this little pond puddle thing. I don't know. But anyway. The question about the stars is the kind of light that you emit, you know? Are we talking about a twinkling light or a shining light? Twinkling, 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 or shining, shining, shining? I know, some of them are unusual. Perfect. Then next. The moon. I like how this picture of the moon is in the same, like, bright, broad daylight blue color as all the other cards. You'd think they could have gone with like a darker blue to indicate night, but no, they've just drawn a face. There's just a face here. The moon looks very, like, serious, you know. I mean, the moon is very serious. Like, they're very picky about their timekeeping, you know. I mean, but they have to be. It's the moon. Yeah. I mean, if they don't turn right, then the humans will see the dark side, and then, like, it's a whole thing, and it's, yeah. So they have to be precise. So as long as you know, then it's fine. But of course, what we really think when we think of the moon is how it's so mutable, you know, how it changes. So that's the moon's question for you. Mutable, changeable, or stable? Changeable or stable? Changeable or stable? Perfect. Next. You know what comes next? You know what comes after the moon? The sun. You see, it also has the same, like, blue color as the moon had. It's very, very much the same blue. I don't know why. I mean, artistic license. But yes, everyone's very happy in the sun. This child is clearly not wearing sunscreen. I know. Sunscreen is important. I mean, the sun is great. The sun is wonderful. It's lovely. The sun is so happy all of the time. But, I mean, you know, sometimes the sun loves us a little too much, and that's why we need sunscreen. Don't forget to wear sunscreen. It's very important. So, first, when this happens, if you see this happening, you run up to that child and you just lather them with sunscreen. Just kind of go hog wild with the sunscreen on this child. Yeah, because he's going to be out there all day. Mm-hmm. Safety first. Safety first. Yes. So the sun. However, the sun's real question is bright or dark. Bright, dark, bright, dark. Perfect. Then next we have judgment. Yes, I know we already had justice, but judgment is different. Like, I mean, justice is about who is right and who is wrong, or what is right and what is wrong. It's right and wrong and right and wrong and right and wrong. And judgment is more about like the reckoning, you know. But the reckoning that happens, it can be in any manner of ways whatsoever. So the question that judgment asks us is, do we want loud or quiet? Loud or quiet? Loud or quiet? Quiet. Last one. All right, the last one. Are we ready? Yes. The world. Yay. And instead of drawing the world, they drew another naked person with sticks. I think she's like a baton twirler, you know? Like she's jumping on a trampoline, she's gonna twirl some batons. It's an act. It's an act, and it's gonna be excellent. It's gonna be amazing. You're gonna love it. You will see. But the world turns. And the question from the world is moving or fixed? Moving or what? I mean, like water is always moving, but ice is fixed. You see? You see the difference? Yes. Of course, I'm happy to help. Moving or fixed? Perfect. So that's everything. Perfect. You can now go about your evening. Well, we can go about our evening. I will hitch up the dragonflies. We will go and visit Death and have some tea in the chariot. But later, after we have tea, I will just pop into the spirit realm and I'll manifest your perfect new companion based on everything you've told me. No, of course, it will all make sense. You'll see. And then tonight, when you go to sleep, it has to be after Omega. Yeah, perfect, because I won't have time before then. So yeah, so after Omega, you go to sleep, and in your dreams, you will meet your new spirit companion. You're going to love them. I can't wait to hear all about them. I can't wait to hear what you think about them. Yes, so definitely pop by tomorrow and let me know, or send a messenger, or yeah. Of course, a sparrow is just fine. Just send a sparrow. That's all right. Yes, I know it's sometimes very hard to get up and down the trees, but it's all right. So you will say hello. You'll become bonded to your new companion and go on wonderful adventures together. I'm excited for you. Enjoy.